Hello, Chai. I hope you're doing well. I promised you a video on the Airway wheels, about 3 times now. So let's see if I can finally deliver to you now that my phone has enough memory and it's not going to run out. And I actually have a minute. Um, I've got an old Sabatier chef's knife here. It's pretty scratched up. It's pretty like brush finish and dull, and we can get that back up to a really nice shine. Um, few, few caveats. I'm not a videographer, so the quality of this may suck just a little. I do have a speech impediment, so the quality of my narration may suck just a little. You gotta deal with that. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So let's get started. I've got 4 Airway wheels here. I've worked with 3 for quite a long time. Just the bottom 3 here had this really rough cut one recently, and it's really sped up. Um, processing these older scratch knives. So I'll focus on safety today, um, because these can really grab and throw knives around. I've had a couple that I've had that happen to. It's been a little scary, and it's been embarrassing in one case because it was a client's knife and it messed it up pretty bad. I kind of pulled that one out, but that was not my greatest moment as a sharpener. So, without further ado, keeping everything off for now because once it's on, it gets real loud. How I approach these, if I have a thick enough knife, I'll go ahead and buff perpendicular to the blade as much as I can. This last probably inch and a half or so, I'll rotate it around and I'll go parallel, and then I'll come around and I'll do the other side. Be really, really careful if the angle of approach is too flat and you catch that edge here, it'll throw that knife down just unbelievably hard. Um, I'm buffing a little bit over half speed here. Um, I'm using my super heavy cut black compound for the heavy cut one, and my heavy cut compound with the pink wheel, the green wheel over here gets the blue, and the white, which is my final polish, gets the white compound. It's all nice and lined up, and now I've gone and mucked it up. All right, there we go, close enough. So for starters, I will drop my speed way down and load these wheels up. Okay. Eye protection is a really good idea, because it can throw that bit of that compound up at you. And let's get buffing. So here's how we're starting out. We'll see how we end up. And you'll see that heavy cut wheel actually puts a scratch pattern on the blade. We'll buff that out with the other wheels, but it's great for taking out scratches and the usual wear and tear. Flip it over. All right, there's that first pass. It's pretty scratched up, and that's actually good. We're putting our own scratch pattern on there because most of the scratches on chef's knives often go parallel to the blade. I'm going to try to put my scratch patterns as much as I can perpendicular and offset the scratch patterns I've got on there. I'll hit it with the pink wheel now, and that will really take out most of the visible scratches and will start to look kind of polished. All right, I've hit it with that pink wheel now, and if I get some of that extra compound off there, you can see it's starting to pick up a nice little shine. I'm not taking off every single scratch off of this knife. I would change my procedure some if they wanted actually brought back to like factory spec, like brand new, every scratch removed. But this is kind of the standard polish I do in every knife. And if I'm not making a video on it, it's actually pretty darn quick. So I'm gonna move my setup over here to the other wheel that I've got. Zoom in a teeny bit. And I think I can work on that without obscuring too much. All right. I always keep a hand on the underside of the blade for two reasons. One, it keeps a constant pressure up against the wheel. My hand can hit these wheels. And it smarts a bit, but it's not going to tear skin off. So if my finger accidentally makes contact, it's not a big deal. It also helps me feel how hot that knife is getting, because as I keep pressure on there, I can build up heat pretty fast. And too much heat, I can ruin the heat treatment on the knife. And so as long as I've got my hand there and my fingers there, and I can feel that it's not too hot to touch, I know I'm in the safe zone for that. All right, so I'll go ahead and start on my green wheel. I'm going to load it up, and then we'll get going. So we'll turn the speed down. And crank the speed back up. On the green wheel and on the white wheel, I'll hit this bolster on here too. Have to be careful with this bolster, because if you hit the handle with the rougher wheels, you can really mess the handle up. So I don't even touch the bolster in this upper part of the haft until I'm on the green wheel. And then we'll do the wet wheel for the final polish. That bolster. Okay, and once that's done, I'll come back here to my workspace, tweak the camera a little bit, and I'll take some isopropyl alcohol, so just rubbing alcohol 90%. Wheels are going to leave some residue on them. You can see, I think there from the compound will dull that blade up. So all I'm going to do is to grab a clean paper towel, spray on some isopropyl, some rubbing alcohol, realize that I have a cut on my finger right where I'm pressing down, which feels less than awesome. And that gets all that compound off. I'll do a quick buff with a rag. I try to do this before I sharpen because this is where I cut myself otherwise every time. And you can see we have a pretty nice shine on that knife. Now the other thing that you can do, which I generally do actually, I was making a video, so of course I forgot about it, but we'll move back over here to the green and the white wheels. And just on that white wheel, I'll drop my speed to about 1/4 to 1/3 of the total. And this knife has a wooden handle on it, so I can polish that up really nicely. Be really careful. Some of the plastic handles can actually burn, can actually like grab the material, pull it, and create a defect on the surface. So with the plastic handles, you have to be really careful about. Some of them I go very slow with a light touch, and some of them I don't touch at all. If they have that kind of rubberized, siliconized grip, you can't polish those at all. So keep hands off, you'll just mess them up. Ask me how I know that one. All right, so I'm at 1/3 speed. we go. Came back over here in the workbench. The little isopropyl alcohol. Even though it's an older knife, quite a bit older knife, this knife's probably 50, 60 years old, you can put a really nice, there we go, shine on that handle too. And these are the knives the clients pick up and they say, wow, it looks like it did when it came out of the box, which is one of my favorite things to hear. All right, so hopefully all that makes sense. If you have questions, let me know. Yeah, that's about it. Hope you're having a great day. Take care.